Hello and welcome to the Bowl Show, all thanks to Drinkwise. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise. We continue our coverage of the 2024 Australian Open today as we watch the multi-disability women's singles final. Val Febbo, who called all the action for this match, is here in the studio today with me. Val, how are you?
I'm great, Jordan. Really looking forward to this one today. It's always good seeing the multi-disability bowlers thrust into the limelight, and I'm so glad that we get to cover this one because it was awesome and the narratives coming from it were superb. So looking forward to it.
Absolutely. We'll delve into that in just a moment. Let's open with some news from across the bowls world, and this is all thanks to OMF. Upgrade to OMF's adjustable bed base for customised comfort and improved sleep quality. And it's with heavy hearts today that the Bowl Show would like to commemorate Australian Bowls Hall of Famer Arnold O'Brien OAM after his recent passing, and we send on our thoughts to his family, Val.
Yeah, we do, and it's really sad when you lose anybody, but Arnold gave so much to this sport. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2017 and a true friend of the sport and someone that really, he just lent his heart and soul to bowls, and it's amazing to see his accomplishments and achievements within the sport, but condolences to his family and friends, and he'll sorely be missed.
Yeah, condolences from the Bowl Show team here, passed on to the family of Arnold O'Brien. As we move on, it's time for Around the Greens, all thanks to Bowls Australia. Local legends wanted, search bowls clubs near me. And what have you got for us this week, Val?
Yeah, just a bit of a congratulations to Dawn Heyman and Josh Walker-Davis for ending the 2023-24 bowls calendar as the #1 ranked bowlers in the country. So they'll be honoured at BA's Awards night later this year as finishing as the #1 bowlers in the country. Dawn, of course, we know what she can produce on the green. She's a superstar. And Josh Walker-Davis from Tasmania, he was brilliant throughout the year as well. So accruing a lot of points across the 365 days. So brilliantly done from both of them.
Thank you, Val, for this edition of Around the Greens. Today's feature match on the Bowl Show is the multi-disability women's singles final. So let's get stuck into the lineups, all thanks to Right at Home, the right care right at home. And first in orange from Club Tweed from Queensland is the great Serena Bonnell.
She's a star, Serena. And look, the redemption is on offer. She lost in the final last year to Cheryl Linfield, her great friend, her Com Games and World Championships teammate. And it was her birthday as well. She was in a winning position. It was a cruel way to spend the birthday. But let's see what she can produce this year against another of her Parajackaroos teammates.
Yes, and a fellow Queenslander as well. In blue from South Johnston is Louise Hoskins.
Louise is a star. We know what she can produce on the rink as well. Her and Serena have teamed up a lot together for Queensland as well. So they know each other's games inside out and backwards. And I'm looking forward to seeing how Louise can probe and try and win her first Australian Open title.
Well, our coverage of the multi-disability women's singles final begins right after this short break on the Bowl Show, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Bowl Show, all thanks to Drinkwise. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise. We're here at Club Broadbeach for the 2024 Australian Open Multi-Disability Women's Singles Final. Let's get into the game.
And as I said, two teammates, they've teamed up regularly as well, both internationally and also at national championships. And here we go as we get the first bowl of this final underway.
Serena Bonnell to kick us off.
Both players will know each other's game pretty well.
Oh, extremely. Playing from the same state as well. Each player will have 4 bowls in this race to 21. Last year, it was a final of epic proportions that saw Cheryl Linfield spoil the birthday party. It was like she put her hand in the cake of Serena Bonnell. And it's a pretty handy start from Serena. It's a good tactic to start with. After the roll-up, she's gone pretty long with this end.
Yeah, and of course for viewers at home, just a reminder that the T comes into play because it will be a re-spotted jack if the jack goes out of bounds. So that's the same for singles as it is for the other team events. But of course the big difference in singles is that it's the first to 21 shots, unless we are timed out.
That is correct. Serena very motivated to go one better than last year.
Just asking the question there of the marker, just to understand a little bit more around the position of the bowl. And it's really important that you use the marker. They are, of course, there to give an opinion only, but they are a good source of information. And she's played an absolutely brilliant bowl there to get one.
These two know each other, as you said, so well. And how much does the para team get together? Els, we know there was a camp a couple of weeks before the Australian Open. And you know, how much do they all get together and get to know each other? As Serena Bonnell plays an absolute bomb.
Just gets a slight touch on the jack there. Yeah, obviously the calendar's been a little bit lighter this year compared to what it's been in previous years. But yeah, the team connect regularly. We've just been to the Australian Institute of Sport. Fantastic staff, facilities. They couldn't be more helpful, and it's kind of being a bit pioneering in terms of the para program and how we're working with strength and conditioning experts there, as well as accessing other expertise around nutrition, pressure wound management, of course sports psych, multiple things that we're very, very fortunate through the relationship that we've got with the Australian Sports Commission and the Institute of Sport to be able to access not only funding but access support services as well. Both players settling well. It's the first end. You always want to make sure you get off to a good start. Brilliant final bowl there from Serena. Can she stop? Still one to Louise. Can she add another with her final bowl of this first end?
This would be a very handy start. Great for Louise to get herself off and running in what is a very high pressure match. And that one just not going to get there, but she is on the board.
So first shot, an advantage to Louise Hoskins.
OMF, of course, the original mattress factory upgrade to OMF's adjustable bed base for optimised comfort and improved sleep quality. Have you got yourself an OMF mattress, Els? I think I might need to get one for myself.
I think I might too. We
They
just
are.
moved in to a new house, so yep, need some different things replacing.
Yeah, I might have to give them a visit. What are you thinking the green speed is right now, Els? It's been consistently around the 15-second mark for the fortnight, but would you say it's around that at the moment?
Yeah, I would say so. And if yeah, as the game goes on, it'll probably get a touch quicker.
So Louise Hoskins, great for her to get herself on the board early in this final. As we said, they met in the Para-Nationals final last year, and Serena won, I believe it was 16-12, but they got timed out at 2 hours and 15 minutes as Serena crashes in and ends up jack high for shot.
Yeah, Louise just taking the opportunity to ask a question again of the marker as to who's holding. Marker's called a measure. We're very lucky with the wonderful team of volunteers that we have. Of course, a reminder to everyone at home that the marker's there to give an opinion, but we're very fortunate that all of them are ITOs. So that's International Technical Official, and we have a technical official ready and waiting to come on as well if they are called at any point for a measure as the final adjudicator.
So Louise just drifting underneath. Serena's husband, Tony, is a Commonwealth Games gold medalist from 2018, and he's another para jackaroo. Bowls definitely runs in the family.
Yeah, they're both very passionate about the sport. Got two lovely little girls as well.
Serena hoping that holds. Still one.
Of course, lots happening here today at Broadbeach. Women's pairs semi-final about to get underway. That should be an epic contest. We've got Ellen Fife and Christina Christic versus Chloe Stewart and Caitlin Inch. That should be an epic match.
Certainly will.
And the winner of that will go through to face
Taylor
Bruce and Jessie Cattell in tomorrow's match. But of course, we've also got the men's pairs and men's fours final today coming up too.
Yep, Joey Clark and Jack McShane are going to feature in both of them. Those two young superstars from New South Wales. Well, Cohen Litfin has beaten Carl Healy in the men's singles. So Cohen Litfin into the final was down 12-9, won at 21-16, Alan Faulkner. And Aaron Sheriff will be his opponent as he looks to become the first player ever to win 3 consecutive open singles titles at the Australian Open, both male or female.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it? What a record. And obviously Aaron was crowned world #1 last night, the World Bowls Series. Of course, joined by teammate, fellow jackaroo Kelsey Cottrell, securing the #1 spot in the women's rankings.
So impressive what those two have done over the last couple of years. They've just continuously put themselves into the good positions, and both of them came away with World Bowls Championships gold medals, both outdoor and indoor, last year. Aaron Sheriff just has won everything that there is to win over the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, they're just relentless, and their weight control is just always so good. And playing on the rink next to Aaron yesterday, his upshot was just phenomenal.
Serena Bonnell. Has it remained for 2? I reckon it has. See what this is. I'm favouring 2 for Serena Bonnell.
Yeah, it looks like it's 2.
So we'll get the confirmation, and it is 2 to Serena Bonnell. She takes the lead early in this match. 2-1 after 2.
We're going to take a quick break here on The Bowl Show, but stick around for more action on the other side. Welcome back to The Bowl Show, all thanks to DrinkWise. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise. Let's get back into the bowls action.
Continuing forehand to this end, and she has changed the length fairly substantially from what Serena had before. Much shorter.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. If you're going to change early, see if it works.
In singles especially, everyone's got their preferred length. Everyone. And we've seen it so many times. Kelsey yesterday against Dawn, she was going for the T-to-T. Dawn, once she won an end, she changed that immediately. And it paid dividends. Almost the ultimate dividend. And Serena's first there. Pretty good.
Yeah, good opening bowl. About 16 inches behind the jack.
And that
Just a touch of the jack, couldn't stay with it.
Serena puts in a second. So asking some questions of Louise Hoskins. Men's fours final to come after this. Team skipped by Carl Healy and Ben Twist. And that one motoring through there for Louise Hoskins. So chance for Serena.
And she has indeed. Wants to get down to the centre line. Very good bowl.
Hasn't left a target at all. This has to be a dead draw. But I've got a good feeling about Louise Hoskins. She's found things with her last before. How is she looking?
Well, she's cut one out. Weight was good.
So can Serena now maybe even, can she land that bowl away and sit it in, or do you just go for the dead draw for 3?
I think she'll play safe and change her hand. Play on the forehand. If she's tight, she hits hers up, but she'll just look to draw another. What she doesn't want to do with the angle of that bowl is get the back edge and cut it into the head. Yep, she's changing over sides.
So to stamp some authority, Serena Bonnell. Went too far. We've had an umpire called out onto the rink here, but it's a big measure in the context of the match, because if it does go to Serena, the lead would be fairly substantial. Now well and truly in. 2 more to Serena, but she does get the multiple. Would she be kicking herself with the free kick at not being able to put it in?
Yes, I would say so, but you just have to let it go.
In singles you do. It's
and
all
reset.
It's all mental. She has got that multiple though. She leads it 6-3.
Stick around for more action on the Bowl Show after the break. Welcome back to the Bowl Show, all thanks to Drinkwise. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise. Before we head back to the green, our proud sponsors in Right at Home know how important it is to not only showcase Australia's best, but also the bowlers from all around the country at a local bowls club that ensure bowls remains one of Australia's most inclusive sports. Today, we meet Serena Bonnell from Club Tweed as she shares how the sport of bowls has accompanied her during her times of triumph and tribulation.
When I went to China, I was doing a legal internship. I was in my 2nd year of law school, and unfortunately when I was there, I ate something which we now believe was a fish that had a little bit of poison in it. By the time I got home, I didn't have use of my arm and I was starting to lose use of my leg. Unfortunately, it took 6 months in hospital and 4 months of not knowing what the condition was before it had deteriorated to an extent that we just couldn't do anything about it. And that was 20 years ago. When I acquired my disability, I felt very isolated and I really wasn't sure what my future was going to entail. I saw bowls on TV one day and I thought to myself I might be able to do that because it was such an inclusive sport. So I practiced delivering the bowl a few times before I went to my local club and asked for some assistance in getting on the green, and they were very amenable to that and helped me quite a bit in my journey along my path to becoming a jackaroo.
Serena's strengths to me are her strength of mind, her ability to play through pain. I have never, ever in my life, I used to be a fairly good bowler, I've never seen anyone train as hard and consistent as Serena does.
As an athlete with a disability, I think the biggest obstacles are society-imposed stereotypes. I dream big and I believe that I can do absolutely anything. And when I fall asleep at night, my dreams are not of someone with a disability. But when I wake up, I often have society's expectations and stereotypes imposed on me, and that limits what I can do, not because I've imposed them, but because society's imposed them on me. My biggest bowling achievements for me personally have not been necessarily in the para space, where I've medalled. My biggest bowling achievements are where I've had an opportunity to show that people with a disability can compete at an elite level with elite open players.
When I talk about Serena, I don't talk disability. I talk a top Australian bowler. In any country, she would be embraced because she's not disability bowls, she's a bowler. And that's what you soon learn about it, because if you underestimate Serena, be it at your own detriment, because she will beat you.
Alan Faulkner MBE, and I decided that we were going to attempt the Guinness World Record for the longest indoor singles game. And it was never about achieving a Guinness World Record, it was about an opportunity to really get spectators to question what people with a disability can achieve when they're provided the support to do so. Nobody would have ever thought that I could have played consecutively for 32 hours and 13 minutes.
To me, Serena in this sport will be the best in the world if given the chances that she deserves. Anything that she wants to achieve, she can. She's got that mindset that nothing will get in her road.
In my opinion, bowls is the only sport that offers true inclusion, not pseudo inclusion. So we don't require a rule change. We get to play in our para events, we get to play in our open events. I'm equally respected. Bowls and sport gives us the opportunity to try and break through those stereotypes and challenges, show what we're actually capable and how inclusivity in society should actually work.
I don't know if you felt that way about England, living there. There's so much to do, but it's half the size of Australia, not even.
Oh, and Europe's so close as well. And I look at how many places I've been to Europe and not enough. It's you just get busy, don't you? Life, work, bowls.
Yep.
Family, just just having time to do all these things.
That's why the Com Games was so good, coupled on a trip straight off the back. As Serena puts in a really good first bowl, and this has been the tale of the tape so far. Serena and Louise have, when they've nailed their first bowls, they've been fantastic. Did I just see Serena communicate in a bit of sign language there? Not sure. I think she waved to somebody, but then somebody gave a hand gesture back, and I don't know. Be very impressive if she could. Presentations of the women's fours and multi-disability women's singles will take place after this match, so stay tuned for that. Present Kelly McCarrahan, Louise Cronin, Emma Boyd and Leanne Chinnery with their gold medals.
Very good bowl from Louise.
Finds a way through.
You would think Serena will probably change hands here. Look, just to trail the jack or sit the bowl on the backhand.
She does have an aggressive game when she wants to, Serena Bonnell. Her weighted shots are very explosive.
Yeah, this is just a positive draw.
Can afford to arrive.
Great effort. She's executed this brilliantly.
Sensational. 1 down to 3 up now. That's the very big question of Louise Hoskins once more. is Louise Boyd by what she did with her second bowl.
And she's playing aggressively. Has she got the jack?
Well, it's still 3.
That's a good effort.
Very good effort. So what does Serena do here to try and combat this? Because there's a way through to trail the jack for Louise. Does Serena change hands, or where does she go here?
Yeah, I think she'll just play on the forehand, just try and drop round her short bowl on the right-hand side there. That way, if there is any jack movement, she'll still be scoring the end.
Has she done it?
Yep, and she's also got a back bowl there. It looks as though she's got the tee. Any lift on her bowl is going to be good for her.
Louise Hoskins. She's inquisitive about it, but I don't...
Can she bend? She needs to hurry.
It tried. It did everything it could. But I dare say this might be a 3 to Serena Bonnell. And a big move made. Louise strides up to the head. And we will get our verdict. Two of them have been taken out. And we'll get another measure. This is a big measure too. I'm favouring this one for 3. I didn't favour the last end.
It looks that way from the screen, doesn't it?
But angles can be deceiving.
They certainly can.
Don't think those wing bowls are in. I think this is the one.
Yeah, straight on the jack. Line.
And it is 3. Serena Bonnell has made her play. A 2 and a 3 in the last 2 ends, and she's got a 6-shot buffer.
Stick around for more action on the Bowl Show after the break. Welcome back to the Bowl Show, all thanks to Drinkwise. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise. We now head back out to the competitions on the green.
So is this the final exchange? Is Serena Bonnell going to be crowned the multi-disability women's singles champion for the first time and join an illustrious list of honorees at the Australian Open? So many wonderful players have gone onto the honour board of all the various disciplines and events. Serena Bonnell hopes to join them.
It's certainly a club that you want to be part of. There's no doubt about that.
And her first here, again, pretty good. Great line. Just needed a little bit less weight. Can Louise Hoskins hop onto the jack here?
Well, this is probably the most room she's had for the last few ends.
So from 1-0 to Louise, went from that to 4-3 to Serena. Sorry, 4-1, then 4-3, then 9-3 to Serena Bonnell. Then 9-all, Louise Hoskins winning 3 ends in a row.
And she's put in a great first bowl here.
And then bang, bang, bang. Serena 2-1, 4-1, 3.
It's a bit like boxing, isn't it, where you're on the ropes and you gotta come out fighting.
Well, there's been a left hook, a right hook, and she's waiting to land that final blow. But in this direction, This is where those 2 ones in this run have come. So Louise has been close. She did well to get one in the count previously. Does Serena have the journey? Almost. Doesn't need much of a correction.
Louise knows that that's probably not close enough, her first bowl, so just getting a bit of information from the marker. Just over adjusting, but if she stays on, it's the back bowl.
How many ends do we have left? How many bowls do we have left at the moment? As it stands, we'll go at least one more.
And that's the thing about singles, you never know.
No.
Always very hard to predict. Team games, you've got ends played. And of course with the respot, there's no dead ends or killed ends.
But every end for Louise Hoskins is sudden death. Serena.
Is this a match-winning bowl?
I think it's treacled too far. Still 1 to Louise Hoskins. Serena has one more opportunity to change that. She's going to come and have a look at the head.
In the meantime, Louise is putting in another shot. Well played, Louise.
That's the best of the lot, isn't it?
It is.
2 shots for Louise Hoskins. And now the quest for her is these little mini games. Try and get to double figures. And then trying to keep on thwarting Serena. She can't get demoralised. Because that old adage of the hardest shot to get is the last one remains the same.
It's very true.
Presentations to come after this. Women's fours and multi-disability women's singles, where we will crown one of these two as the Australian Open champion. Serena Bonnell wants it to be in about 5 minutes.
She's just taking her time, setting herself.
So it ends up going behind. Louise Hoskins holding 2. This is an opportunity to put in a third and get it back to within 8.
Yeah, the key thing will be the jack length in this other direction.
And the more she stretches out the match, the more time Serena Bonnell has to think about it.
Yeah, you've almost got to put the score out of your mind when you're on 20. Just keep it simple.
Yep, just concentrate on winning ends. Louise Hoskins.
Well, it's going to be a 2 to Louise to make it 20 shots to 11.
And that run of 5 ends on the bounce for Serena Bonnell concludes 20 to 13. She didn't lose the jack in the previous end, but this jack looks like it is rocketing along. And Serena says, thank you very much. She'll control the length and we'll have last bowl.
Well, she plays the same length. It's been tit for tat, hasn't it?
That hurts if you're Louise. It really does. Because when she went on that mini run on end 9 to 11 where she netted 6 shots from those 3 ends, that was her length and that was where she changed things. How catastrophic will it prove? Because Serena has gone fairly short. So she'll have last bowl on her own preferred length. This one's going to drop underneath.
Just a little bit quick.
So the jack is the real estate for Serena Bonnell. She wants to move in.
And she has.
She holds game. They say life throws up the same questions for you until you answer them. Last year, she was in a commanding position against Cheryl Linfield. Is she going to put that result to bed and gain her redemption? She's ever so close.
Well, she's not making the target any wider, running for cover.
Marcus says it's 2. Serena doesn't mind as long as the red paddle is aloft. Louise Hoskins wants to spill this jack out and wants to prolong this as long as she can.
And she's given this a chance. What an effort here from Louise Hoskins. Can she bend? What a try.
She came close. She's only going to have one more attempt, Louise Hoskins. Just one more to save this.
Very good bowl there from Serena.
Well, this is it. Louise Hoskins to keep this going. Body language suggesting she might not be a fan, but can she affect it? She comes through the gap. And it is serenity for Serena. She is the 2023 multi-disability women's singles champion at the Australian Open. And after heartbreak in 2023, she wins it in 2024. An amazing performance, Ellen Faulkner.
It certainly was, Val, and credit to Louise. She fought all the very way to the end.
Well, what a match that was. Join us on the other side of the break for the Bowl Show Awards. Back soon. Welcome back to the Bowl Show, all thanks to Drinkwise. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise. Well, she is a champion on and off the green, and Serena Bonnell again showed us, Val, why she's been successful as anyone in the sport.
Yeah, it's so good to see, and she well and truly deserved this title after what happened last year against Cheryl Linfield. She managed to back it up, got that redemption, and it was wonderful to see her do so well.
Excellent stuff from Serena. All right, Val, let's get into the Bowl Show awards. Starting with the play of the day. What did you pick out as the play of the day from this match?
I had to go with Serena's 14th end because the match was in the balance here at 12-9 and it's still close. You know, when you're only 3 ahead, you're within a full count of going behind if you drop it. So Serena to get one of her own, to go 16-9 ahead, that was the buffer that she needed, and that was the buffer that she needed to go on and take this title. And she was just supreme in this end. Look at where she had the bowls, all within a pretty good space, and then Louise just unfortunately couldn't match her.
And that leads us nicely into the player of the match, with thanks to Bowra and O'Day, because the little things are everything.
So Serena here, it was what she was able to do throughout the entirety of the final. She was clean, she was crisp, and she just didn't give Louise an inch. She stayed on her the entire time. When Louise did net a big score, it was when she played some ripping bowls. Serena was always in the area. She was always on the money, as we've come to know and love about her. But yeah, she made Louise work for absolutely every shot.
And what did you have as the moment of the match, all thanks to Drinkwise? If you're choosing to have a drink, choose to Drinkwise.
Well, speaking of making her work, Louise here in the 11th end, she just managed to wrestle back a bit of momentum here. She was down a fair way and ended up getting the score back to 9-8. So, you know, it wasn't all easy for Serena Bonnell because she was made to work a little bit, but the fact that she was so consistent, I think that was what won her the title in the end. Louise here, though, very, very good and did really well to get herself back onto almost level terms in this middle portion.
Well, there we go, Serena Bonnell, Australian Open champion. That's all we have time for today, but next week on the Bowl Show, we continue covering all of the finals from the Australian Open as we move to the under-18 boys singles final, contested between Kobe Cromie and Travis Moran. Val, I don't want to spoil it for the viewers, but this was a cracking match.
Superb.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. But what I will say to do now, you know, the movies, you get your popcorn for a thriller.
Yeah.
Get the popcorn ready for this one, because you're going to be sitting there next week and watching one of the most glorious finals unfold.
Excellent. Looking forward to it, Val. Thank you. We'll see you again next week.
Cannot wait, Jordan.
Going to be a big one. We'll see you again next week on The Bowl Show. The Bowl Show would not be possible without the generous support of Drinkwise. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise. OMF. Upgrade to OMF's adjustable bed base for customised comfort and improved sleep quality. Bowra and O'Day, because the little things are everything. Right at Home, improving the quality of life for those we serve. Aero Bowls, the same line every time. And of course, Bowls Australia. Local legends wanted. A Bowls Green is just up the road. Search Bowls clubs near me.